Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and I'm not going to lie. I'm very happy with this story. I'm very happy with the headline you see here on the screen. Woman charged with attempted murder in beating of man 92 with brick. If you caught this story the other day, it was blowing up. It was blowing up all around, and people were talking about it, and people were very, very, very much aiming at there being a different outcome to this story than what it is. Now, we've had a lot of flare-ups recently with race in this country. All of them are terrible. It should never happen. Live and let live. People come here from around the world. We are, in fact, the melting pot of the planet, of the globe, and I think everyone is welcome here. All right? But not everyone feels that way. Not everyone feels that way, and that's what brings us to this particular story, where you've got a 30-year-old woman who's been charged with attempted murder for allegedly beating a 92-year-old man with a brick last week. The LA County District Attorney's Office says that Laquisha Jones of Los Angeles has also been charged with elder abuse and infliction of injury. Let's be realistic here. You can see the image right there. She is holding a brick in her hand, and she beat a 92-year-old man with it. A 92-year-old man was beaten by this woman with a brick. Yeah, because that really feels like that's going to be necessary. Oh, not only that, but there's also a group of men that came over at her request, and they began to beat this man while she shouted, "Go back to your country." Right? I mean, America, I guess. Jesus. Now, the Jones entered a not guilty plea at her arraignment. Prosecutors asked that the bail be set at $1.125 million. She was originally held on a bond of $200,000, and they are making sure this woman does not get out of jail because what she did was so vicious and so violent, so uncalled for, unprovoked, and she doesn't deserve it, in my opinion. Not at all. Not one damn bit. Now, the felony complaint includes special allegations that the defendant personally used a deadly and dangerous weapon, the brick, during the beating, and that she badly injured the victim, identified as Rodolfo Rodriguez, as he was visiting the United States from his native Mexico. Dude didn't even live here. He was just visiting his family in Los Angeles. And she, bumped into this woman on the street, bumped into her kid. And the response was, hit him with a brick. I know, given the way everything's kind of been recently in this country in terms of race relations, it does seem kind of apropos, doesn't it? Anyway, the charging document alleges that Jones previously convicted of making criminal threats in 2017. She was on probation from that case. So this is what's going to put her in a lot of trouble. So she's making criminal threats. Now she acted on those she acted. That's only going to make that punishment even worse. Prosecutor said that Jones attacked the man on the evening of July 4th. Now, afterward, Rodriguez was taken to the hospital for medical treatment, and Jones fled the scene. Yeah, because that's what happens when you beat a 92-year-old man with a brick and you have him kicked in the face repeatedly by other men. You go home, right? It's 4th of July night. You light up some fireworks, or well, it's LA, so you can't. So you light up a couple sparklers. And you barbecue maybe, you hang out, drink a beer, knowing that you've done good that day. I've helped make America safer by beating an elderly man into submission with a brick and telling him to go back to his own country, because that's where we are. Investigators identified Jones as the alleged assailant and arrested her on July 10th. If convicted as charged, she faces a maximum of 29 years in state prison. She won't get that, obviously. She won't get that at all. But that's a long time to be in prison. She's 30. That's a half of her life in prison if she gets the maximum sentence. Now, Rodriguez, who doesn't speak English, suffered broken ribs, a broken cheekbone, and bruises all over his body, has since been released from the hospital and is recovering at home. He told his family he was walking down the street when he bumped into a little girl as he tried to walk around her. The suspect, believed to be the girl's mother, allegedly threw Rodriguez to the ground and started hitting him with her fists, then the brick. Now, look, here's the thing. I can understand, and I just want to I don't agree with what happened at all, and I'm totally on the side of this woman being, overkill for everything. Like, get rid of her. Throw her away. Okay, she's, you don't go that pathway unless you've been this violent before. That's not an instant trigger. You know what I mean? Like, I guarantee you we're going to find out there's probably a lot more violence in her life. But, she started shouting out, go back to your country. The witness told CBS she took out her phone, or a witness took out her phone, got a photo of the woman who appears to be holding a piece of concrete. That's the photo that's making its way around. The witness said a group of people, a group of about 4 men joined in the attack and that the assailants fled as law enforcement was being called. Because, of course. Woman says, this man's grabbing my child. You come over, you beat that guy. Cops are being called. You take off running. Because that's heroic, right? Now, the woman says here, this is the witness. When I take the picture, she said, oh, he tried to touch my girl. I saw everything. This is a lie. When the guys came, they hit him in the face, his body, everything. Rodriguez's grandson, Eric Mendoza, told the news, I'm just overwhelmed how anyone can do this to a human being at all. He's 92 years of age. There's no harm that he meant for you to treat him in the way that you did, which is absolutely true. And right now he's currently recovering at home, and there is a GoFundMe for him that was set up for $15,000 that is now more than $316,000. And you know what? The dude earned it, man. The dude earned it. Earned it. This woman so violently attacked this man for no other reason than he bumped into her daughter as they were walking by. And she interpreted that as him trying to touch her, trying to grab her. Right? You're walking down the street. I mean, these kind of kidnappings, I'm not going to say they've never happened, but it's like the likelihood of it happening. She was able to knock him to the ground and start beating on him, and like it just triggered it. And then she called in more people to continue the beating, and then just got up and left when the cops were being called. Because at that point, you know you done goofed. At that point, you know you done screwed up. At that point, you know your ass is in the wrong. Your ass is going to end up going to jail. Now she faces 29 years in prison because she couldn't watch her goddamn temper. And I don't feel an ounce of sympathy. Now, I don't know what I would do if someone went after my kid like that. If someone, like, you know, legitimately went after my kid. I can't quite say what I would do. All right? But at the same time, you have to, like, stop and assess the situation. She knocked him to the ground, started beating him with her fists, went over, picked up the concrete brick, came back to beat him more with it. Because the photo that we see here, we can kind of see in this image, you can see her holding the damn brick. And it's just kind of like she's holding it loosely, you know, in her fingers right there. So she hasn't struck him yet with it. So she's just picked it up. So this was more of a meditated thing. Here, come over here to the top of the article. We can see a better shot. It's a full shot of her grabbing the brick. The girl, little daughter's right there. And that dude is nowhere in that photo. So she had to walk away to get the weapon to come back to strike him again. Yeah. Yeah. Not guilty my ass. I saw the coverage of this. Her being arraigned, and the camera's on her, and she's literally hiding behind her attorney. She's hiding behind him. She's afraid. Bitch, you struck a dude with a brick repeatedly. You called over a posse to beat him mercilessly. And when you're finally caught a week later, you don't even have the balls to stand up and face the judge. You hide behind your attorney. Because you're not that big now, are you? You're not that strong now, are you? Yeah. This another wasted-ass heifer. Seriously, though. It's like, and I'll tell you this. I want to end it with this because I have another gripe to pick here, too. The media covering this, by the way. A lot of people were leaning towards this was a white dude beating down a Mexican guy and not a 30-year-old black woman beating down a Mexican guy. It goes to show you the state of affairs in this country when it comes to reporting on crime. Certain details are out there. Certain details are being overlooked in order to protect a narrative. And that's a problem. Racism sucks. Let's be fair. Racism sucks. Racism is crap. It does exist, though. What she did to him was racist. None of this, it was prejudice shit. None of this, it was, racism is power plus privilege, and it doesn't apply to this. No, it applies. It applies. She beat him down with a brick while screaming, "Go back to your country." It doesn't get more black and white than that. Now we wait and see what happens. And I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on this one. Should be interesting. Let me know down in the comments below. Please keep it civil. Let's be fair. Please keep it civil. And I'm curious to know your thoughts. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. And remember, don't beat people with bricks. Beat them with your words. It does less damage. If you enjoyed this video, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month over at patreon.com/mundanematt.